it's Laynie and welcome to the channel. How are you guys doing today? Leave it down below. You know I love hearing from you. If the lighting looks a little bit off, that's because I'm getting a very late start on this. It is almost 9 o'clock at night. I filmed a video earlier which should already be posted. If it is, I'll put it in the bubble up here. It is my June perfume tray. While prepping for that video, I was so inspired. I was like, oh, I need to share with you guys some amazing summer perfumes in my collection. I'm thinking top 10 here. How does that sound? If you love fragrance content, beauty content, and a little bit of lifestyle content sprinkled on top, make sure you click that subscribe button. Join the fam. You won't regret it. I mean it. We're pretty awesome here. I think I have all of the necessary stuff out of the way, so let's start talking perfume. First up is an oldie and a super cheapie, but oh my goodness, do I love her. This is Annika by Nicki Minaj. Yes, it's a celebrity fragrance. Yes, I think you can usually find it for like 15 bucks at TJ Maxx or Marshall's, but it's so good. I personally find the bottle to be so stinking cute, honest to goodness. I'm a sucker for gaudy packaging, so this checks all the boxes for me. I wouldn't mind trying out some more of these. There are the juiciest of juicy notes in here. We have pear, starfruit, mandarin orange, then we have some florals with orchid, water lily, osmanthus, and then in the base we get sugar, musk, and some woods to really round it on out. I think this is perfect for summertime. Honestly, this is one of those that was an impulse buy for me. I do have a thing for impulse buys when I'm at Marshall's and TJ Maxx. Maybe Burlington. One of those. Didn't reach for it for years, literally for years. It just sat there and sat there and sat there. And finally one day I was like, okay, it's time. I need to wear her. Why don't I wear her? And when I did, I was like, what? I've been missing out on this. It is totally fresh, almost ozonic, like fresh, clean air. Hold on. It's actually like when you walk by somebody's house, you're doing an outside stroll, the sun is shining, there's a beautiful breeze, and someone has their laundry running and you get that whiff of the fresh laundry in the air. But it's also juicy with the fruits in there and sweet with the fruits and the sugar. Very musky. Very pretty and feminine and soft, honestly, and classy too. The packaging is like fun and playful, and the fruits in there can come across as fun and playful, but truly, this is a very pretty womanly scent. I do think a teen girl could wear this, and it's not going to be like, whoa, who you trying to be? But I also think a woman in her 30s like myself can easily wear this, and you're gonna smell so good and still so put together. Next up is one that has been sold out like everywhere, and when my Sephora had it, I was like, okay, I have to get it. It was Mother's Day. I wanted to treat myself, if you will, and my store wasn't sold out. So I was like, I'm grabbing Mood Ring by Fleur. Can I just say, I love the Fleur bottles. They are simple, very simplistic, but oh so cute. They feel good in your hand. They're quite weighted. There is something about this fragrance I really do love. I've heard this one can be a love it or a hate it, so I do think you should get your nose on it first before purchasing. I did smell this in store, and I think the reason for it being kind of a love it or a hate it is because there is a gummy candy note in here. To me, that's really the initial blast. You get that yummy candy syrupy vibe in the opening, but as it fades out and kind of it transitions into a little bit more of that dragon fruit note to me, which I love. I personally love dragon fruit. If you've ever had it though, at least all the ones I've ever had, they're kind of a bland fruit. Like, I find them delicious, and there's something about the texture and the experience and the way it looks, but they're not like a super sweet watermelon or pineapple or anything like that. It's a little bit bland. The flavor is not real strong. And I love how that plays with that gummy candy note because it keeps it from going so sweet, and that dragon fruit note tames it beautifully. It keeps going with florals. There's jasmine, orange blossom, and marigold, and honestly, I really pick up the florals in this. So if you are buying it just hoping for a candy, syrupy, yummy, gummy fragrance, I think that's why you'd be disappointed. And then in the base, you get musk, patchouli, and some amber. To me, the patchouli comes across almost a little bit woody, but I prefer this on a summer night. When it's warm, you want to be a little flirty. I'm usually not a huge patchouli girl, and I think this is a little patchouli heavy, but it works in this one. If you love all things Baccarat-esque, which, you know, I'm a sucker for, then Burberry Her is perfect for summer. I'm sure so many of you already know this, but MFK made this and also made Baccarat, so you can see how these are kind of sisters, if you will. Baccarat is the Saks and Fifth Avenue, and this is more the JCPenney's maybe? Lots of fruit notes in here, some violet and jasmine in the mid, musk, vanilla, cashmere, wood notes, moss, patchouli, and amber in the base. I definitely feel like the berries is what I get from the fruits the most, with a little bit of tart cherry if I'm really smelling for it. But it's just kind of this like fruit salad mixture going on in the opening that does carry into the base some for me. I can tell it is a fruity fragrance. I really say this is a fruity, musky, very, very, very musky fragrance. You have to like a musky fragrance to like this. It is a totally translucent scent bubble that people are gonna pick up on you, but you're not gonna knock anybody out. You're not gonna knock yourself out. This is one I can spray pretty heavy-handed. I have to say, I totally picked these up for the bottle. I love the Sugarful bottle. This is Sugarful Sunshine by Michelle Germain. I think the bottle is just darling. If you want to smell like a straight up pina colada, this is it. And I'm talking like legitimately a pina colada. You get the coconut, you get the pineapple, and you get the sweetness. I'm talking you're sitting on a beach, the sun is shining, you have a drink in hand with a little umbrella. This is Sugarful Sunshine. You have to like sweet to like this. I mean, this is so sweet. I honestly think of like the fully artificially flavored, full of high fructose corn syrup pina colada mixtures that you buy off the shelf. Like, this is not the like handmade fresh coconut milk with the fresh squeezed pineapple. No, no, no. This is the artificially flavored high fructose corn syrup version. It is so sweet. I do feel like this one, as you wear it, the sweetness does tame down a little bit. I wear it in the summertime and I work in an indoor setting with air conditioning, and it's totally fine. If I was like going to an outdoor picnic, I don't think this would be my pick because it is very sweet. Juliana's perfume Ring of Radiance is a dupe of Valaya by Parfums de Marly, and it is so close, you guys. I have smelled the OG several times. I have a sample from Scentbird. In the opening, you have aldehydes and peach, and I definitely pick up the peach in the opening. You also have bergamot, some citrus notes, and it keeps it really zesty, awakening, bright, happy. Those aldehydes and citrus fruits come together so wonderfully, while the peach kind of brings out this sweetness and almost goes a little bit peach gummy rings to me, which I love. I mean, who doesn't love those? And then in the mid, we have those florals that I feel like keep it kind of soft. A little green, which keeps it a bit fresh. Musk and Broxton, Akagala wood, and vanilla in the base. And honestly, everything plays together so beautifully. This to me is elevated summer, sophisticated summer, a very effortless reach, as well as could be a really beautiful signature scent. The effervescence from the citrus and the aldehydes are just so inviting and happy. This is just one of those scents for me that I just have a hard time not feeling like I'm having a good day when I wear it. This to me smells like an expensive fragrance. Even though this does smell like I've got money, I can honestly say I can dress this up or dress it down. Talking high heat, this one is my go-to. If I'm gonna be outdoors and sweating it out at a barbecue, at an event, and I want to smell good but fresh all day, and it's never going to be too much or bother anybody around me, Light Blue by Dolce & Gabbana. This is my go-to. I do always find it kind of interesting how fragrances can smell on paper or up close versus how they smell in the air. On paper, I enjoy it, but that scent bubble, oh my goodness. To me, this is like the most true lemon scent that I have in my collection. It is the inside of the lemon, it's the juice, it's the rind, it is all of it. There's also green apple in here. Again, it's like the inside of the green apple. It's also the skin of the green apple. There's cedar and bamboo and jasmine. I feel like if I'm getting the rose, it's almost like I'm smelling the texture of a rose petal versus the actual rose itself, if that makes any sense. There's more cedar in the base and musk and a little bit of amber in there. This is truly fresh. I mean, the ultimate freshy. There's definitely woods in there and definitely greenness. If you like sweetness to your fragrance, I would say smell this one first. One that I have truly come to love, 22 Orris by Letta. Hello, the packaging truly is stunning. To me, this looks like a very high-end fragrance, and the price is not bad at all when it comes to fragrance. Take that with a grain of salt. Our budgets are all different. Freesia, pink pepper, orris, jasmine, lily of the valley, marshmallow musk, which is kind of different, sandalwood, and moss. And honestly, to me, this is sophistication to the max. Honestly, this fragrance says, I've got money, I am classy, I drive a white Range Rover. I get a lot of musk and a lot of that orris that gives it this kind of creamy vibe, but also a little vegetal, which probably doesn't sound the best, but it makes it's just very refreshing. If you like Glossier You, or you like Sunfruit by Ellis Brooklyn, or Radiant Nectar by Clean Reserve, that all kind of reminds me of this one. The pink pepper to me brings out a little class. Makes it just a little bit different. Okay, now's where we're gonna get complicated. Why not? I gotta talk about some layering combos that I really enjoy together in the summertime. So here we go. I got 3 rounds of layering for you guys. These 2 are a must for me together. Now, don't run out and buy 2 fragrances. Like, I don't want you to think that. It's more of if you happen to have both of these in your collection, combine them together. This is Indigo Valley and Boardwalk Delight. I discovered this about a month ago where I mixed them together. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in love. Indigo Valley is unique. It has a blueberry mocha note, and it definitely goes creamy where you get that kind of frothy, milky vibe. And definitely get the blueberry in this kind of bright, tangy, juicy, fruity opening. And then the mocha part of it, to me, I don't necessarily smell it and go, oh, chocolate, but there's kind of this bitter yet rich depth in there that I'm like, okay, I can get the chocolate, but somehow stays so fresh and like shower gel vibes, like very fresh. Boardwalk Delight, which is so sweet. You have cotton candy and coconut milk, and basically that's what I get. They bring out the berry notes in each other. You've got the pink and blue cotton candy. You've got the blueberry in here. This is a bit creamy musky. This is a bit creamy musky. But the cotton candy is so sweet. And lately my nose with the heat just hasn't been loving ultra sweet fragrances. And this is ultra sweet. But the freshness, that kind of shampoo-y shower gel freshness in here tames the sweetness in Boardwalk Delight. A newer discovery for me is 2 new ones from Mix Bar, which you can get at Target, Salt Petals and Passion Fruit Nectar. I can honestly say Passion Fruit Nectar, to me, by itself is not my absolute favorite. There's passion fruit, sugar, apricot. I really enjoy the apricot note in here. It kind of gives it a little bit of a velvety texture. Woodsy notes, magnolia. If you love very fruity fragrances that go just a little fresh and not too sweet, I think this by itself is honestly really enjoyable. But when you mix it with Salt Petals, it does something. Salt Petals, not really usually my cup of tea. It kind of reminds me of Beach Walk, which I love, but no coconut. But that beachy, by the sea air type of vibe. You've got sea salt, water flowers, grapefruit, and amberwood. It's a very aquatic, marine, but a little bit sophisticated, and I think that's probably the amberwood. When you mix the 2 together, it takes Salt Petals from being so marine and so kind of unisex, where I am more of a flirty, feminine fragrance lover, and does just that. Another new discovery. I've had these in my collection for quite a while, but I finally paired them together and I was like, oh, you're onto something. I mentioned my nose doesn't like too sweet right now. I don't know what it is. I used to just love all things sweet, but I don't know. It's just too much sometimes for me anymore. My nose is like overwhelmed. Magnetic Candy is so sweet. This is by Finery, which is a dupes brand, and I've heard this is supposed to smell like Byredo. Sundaced, I think. I got my nose on that so long ago, I cannot confirm, but it is like a very tart, juicy cotton candy. I get a lot of cotton candy and a lot of grapefruit. It is very tart, a little bitter, and very sugary sweet. So then one day I was like, I'm gonna just try it with Without a Trace, which is also by the Finery, and I've heard it's supposed to smell like Missing Person. Suede, musk, neroli, and some cedar wood. This is a very grounding fragrance. It's one of those kind of your skin but better. I put it in the fresh category, not shampoo fresh, but kind of in that molecule fragrance fresh. I'm not wearing perfume, but I am vibe. When pairing these together, I love it. The neroli plays in beautifully with the sweet notes. Think Love Don't Be Shy, how the neroli plays in with all the sweetness in that fragrance. It pairs beautifully with the cotton candy note, but the woods, the suede, tames down the sweetness. I feel like it also kind of mellows out the grapefruit some. I would say probably more casual than like bridal or anything like that, but hey, you do you, boo, okay? One that I had to just make a quick mention of, because I was like, I'm just not 100% sure saying summer for this, but I do think on a summer date night, it is good. This is Musk Noir Rose by Narciso Rodriguez, one of the only fragrances I've ever liked from that line. I personally do not think this would work in the high heat, high sun daytime. I think it would become very cloying. Even though it's not listed, I get a lot of patchouli in this, and it's quite syrupy. We have plum, pink pepper, bergamot, musk, rose, tuberose, and vanilla. The color of the juice is honestly exactly what this fragrance smells like, and the pink pepper really adds an edge to this that makes it quite sexy. I think there's something about the way the vanilla and the pink pepper are blending together that reminds me of the patchouli that I get in Mood Ring. If you love the Sol de Janeiro Is It 40 with the plum note, I think you would really like this. The Sol de Janeiro is a little bit more playful and a little bit juicy, a little bit more daytime, where this is definitely more nighttime sexy. But the plum note in those I find very similar. This on a summer evening in a slinky little black dress with a great pair of platform sandals. The breeze is blowing. You're at like a cute little outdoor patio having a nice dinner, having a great time, and you want to smell like that girl. This is that kind of fragrance. Not for a summer day, but oh so good for a summer night. Okay guys, I think this video is 700 million years long. I also find that I have a hard time talking when I film this late at night because it is now almost 10 o'clock. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any great summer fragrance recommendations, you know I want to hear it. I will see you in the next one, and as always, please try to stay positive because at the end of the day, that is truly all we can try to do. Mwah! Bye-bye.